Hi, this is Kevin Brown with your 2 Minute Tuesday. What role did religion play in the presidential race? Well, a significant role. Pew Research came out last week with some good statistics that I think is interesting. And many of you have heard that about 81% went with Trump of the white evangelical vote versus 16 for Clinton. And this is how this is broken down: Protestant, Catholic, all the way down to Mormon. And what I found was interesting is the fact that the Democrats only picked up in two places among the Jewish faith, and you'll see that here, and then among the Mormons, the bottom of the list at +4. But everywhere else, among the Catholics, the white Catholics, and even the Hispanic Catholics, all negatives. The Clinton picked up fewer votes, and even among the Hispanic Catholics rather, a -8. And that's pretty significant in a tight electoral college race. Something else that was interesting reported by Pew is this: those who attend worship services. Trump, those who attended at least once a week, 56% went with Trump. But those who never attend church, 62% of the never attend church went with Clinton. Find that interesting. If you look at a normal U.S. town, Pew Research did work on this to say if there's 100 people living in that U.S. town, how would they look based on their religious makeup? Well, 47 of the 100 people would be Protestant. 21 out of the 100 people would be Catholic. Now, here's what's interesting. The unaffiliated, that means they're not affiliated with any religion, has grown to be 23 out of 100. The United States, as a group of 100 people, this is interesting, and it makes sense to me that the South is going to have the majority of Protestants and Catholics. Protestants represented by the orange figures and Catholics by the red. Followed by the Midwest, then having the most amount after the South of Catholics and Protestants. And then as we would expect, and we see that ultimately the West is going to have the next least. And then interestingly, the Northeast. We just had Thanksgiving. And it's yet the Northeast that's going to have the least number of Protestants and Catholics. And that's where the Pilgrims came. So you see what's happened over the last couple of hundred years in the United States. If you look at this same town of 100 people and you break it down between men and women, there are going to be more women who are, by and large, going to be Protestant and Catholic. And interestingly, there are more unaffiliated men than women in a town of 100 people. And lastly, I talked about this last week and just can't seem to get away from it, is the fact that if you look at the Protestants who are 18 to 29 years of age, look at this. If you look at a town of 100 people, look, the 18 to 29-year-olds, there is basically the same number of Protestants as there are unaffiliated. That means they don't have any religion at all. You know, you look at the older you get, say the 50 to 64-year-olds, you see that by far the Protestants and Catholics outnumber those that have no faith or unaffiliated. So we've got to continue to work to try to reach our young generation. Interesting statistics here from Pew Research. This has been Kevin Brown with your 2 Minute Tuesday.